Hey, everybody. Welcome to Washday Live. And first of all, hello, December. It's December 1st, Sunday, December 1st. Welcome to Washday Live, where we talk about hairstyles, topics, and concerns that come up during Wash Day. Now, over the next couple of weeks, this series is going to be a little bit different because I want to take you into my mind, into my world, almost like letting you be a fly on the wall of my mind as I go through a process of discovery and experimentation and making some real life revelations and connections as to when it comes to cutting hair and maybe some other things too, because in the moment things just sort of click, right? So just a little bit of a recap. A few weeks ago, at the beginning of November, I took a cutting class. I took a level one curly cut certification at the Rezo Academy in NYC, and that just got the ball rolling in terms of my excitement about hair, being around like minded people. But one of my biggest challenges after leaving that class was making the connection with the curly cut and kind of placing it into my world of which I had already had previous extensive training in cutting, precision cutting on straight hair. So over the last couple of weeks, if you didn't get to check that out, I want you to go ahead and check that out. I have replays on my YouTube channel. I've been trying to make the connections with primary shapes in terms of how they look on straight hair, which is how I know them, versus how they look on curly hair. So for example, I can do regular seamless layers on straight hair. I know how it falls. I know how the layers look. I know exactly how that looks. But how does a 90-degree round cut look on textured hair? We just assume that looks like an afro. But is that what it looks like? So over the next couple of weeks, that's something that I am doing for myself. I don't necessarily know who that's going to connect with. I just thought to myself, if it's a challenge that I'm having, then maybe some of you out there might be having it. But before I jump into that, I am going to make sure that this is streaming on my platforms. I am on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. So let me know where you're watching from when you join in, okay? So let me go ahead and make sure that we are okay. So we're good on Instagram. Also wanted to let you know that I'm able to see your comments on Facebook, on Instagram, and on YouTube. I have all my devices here, so don't be shy when you log in. Let me know what you're tuning in from, where you're tuning in from, and what you look forward to learning during this series, okay? So another thing, I am in a chatty mood today, and you guys are gonna get it because I'm just gonna take it out on y'all. I'm in a chatty mood. So not only are we going to talk about this haircut that we're doing today, I'm always on a quest to improve myself. Like I'm one of those people that kind of advocates for try to make yourself better every day, right? Every day you wake up, you have a chance to start fresh, start over. It's never too late. So anyway, what I've been doing is really trying to work on improving my presentation skills and coming on here. I have a confession. Every time I come on this live, I am so-called trying to act normal. Act normal. But when I realized today that maybe, when I say normal, I'm thinking that I'm more relatable, it's a little bit more convincing, natural. But what I realized is that maybe my normal is a different kind of normal. Maybe my normal is the persona that I put together for showing up to do presentations. I feel more confident there. I feel like my messaging is clearer. I feel like I'm having a bigger impact. Okay. So confession today, because I'm gonna need you guys feedback on this. All right. So I have been trying to act normal and more relatable, but today I am going to be in my presentation persona, and we're going to look back at these videos because my past 4, 5, 6 videos have been trying to act normal. I just don't feel like they're making that big impact, and I could be wrong because I can't control what inspires you, what impacts you. But today I'm going to count it down, and I'm going to start out with my presentation persona. All right, so that's what we're going to do today. So just to let you know, before we get started, I would love for you to join my community, the Stacy Sisteron community. You can do so by clicking the link in my bio. I have a free exclusive video called 10 Biggest Mistakes That Are Keeping You from Healthy Hair. Absolutely free, straight to your inbox. All you have to do is click the link in my bio to sign up for that, and you're automatically in the community. Another way you can do it is by downloading the SC app. That link is also in my bio. That way you can shop the shop. You can make hair appointments if you're looking to get your hair done. And when we start doing live events in 2025, this is the place where you'll be able to do that. And I'm working on maybe some exclusive content for the members on the app. Lastly, it is a sale going on. There's a sale going on. I never do sales. I never advocate for sales. I don't necessarily promote sales, but usually I get in the spirit around Black Friday. So that's what's going on right now. We have an extended Black Friday sale on all hair services on Friday. 50%, it was 50% off. But now for the weekend up until midnight tonight, you can shop the shop using code SB30 to get 30% off any product in the shop, and Black Friday 30 to get 30% off all services that I offer. I think that is about it. So are we ready to count down so I can spin around and get into my presentation persona? So we can compare what Stacy Sisteron normal. Hi, everybody. What's going on? Trying to be relatable. Or Stacy Sisteron Showtime performer. All right. So I'm going to count down. You guys want me to jump into that persona right now so I can go ahead and jump in and talk about this? Let me know in the chat if you're ready to get started. I know there's a little bit of a delay, so I see you here on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Say hello when you join the chat. All right. Okay, so ready? All right. Oh, by the way, I did some curls for you guys. I love it. It's so cute. All right, let's do it. 3, 2, 1. Hey, everybody. Happy Sunday and welcome to Washday Live, where we talk about hairstyles, topics, and concerns that come up during Washday. But today we're going to switch it up a little bit. I have started a series, a haircutting series here on my little friend to help me to kind of discover the connection that has been missing in my life. And that is, how do shapes look on curly hair versus how these basic shapes look like on straight hair? So I've been trained on cutting hair straight, but having a hard time connecting with what they look like on textured hair. So last week I did a seamless 90-degree cut, okay, also known as round layers. This is like a standard basic layer. I did that. I blew it out on my mannequin. Let me just show you really quickly. So I did this haircut. These sideburns are a little cray-cray, but, we did this haircut. I showed you how it looked on a wash and go, and then I blew it out on Monday to show you what it would look like on straight hair. So I'm going to do the same thing over the next couple of weeks. We're going to just kind of switch up the shape. That was a round shape. I'm a big proponent for having a strong shape. That's why your wash and goes are not turning out right. That's why the twist outs are not turning out right. That's why your flat twists are not turning out right. Sometimes it's not just the product and the tool. Sometimes it's the fact that you don't have a strong shape that you're working with, okay? So speaking of that, we have basically 3 or 4 basic shapes that we work with when we're cutting hair. The first one, it's more of a round shape. That's what we did. Then we have a triangular shape. That's usually like an all one length. Those are your bobs, that type of shape. And then we have square, where everything is just coming straight out of your head. Think of like a box around your head. All right, that offers layers as well. And then we have that 180 degree, which is kind of more in that square. So we're really just dealing with circles, squares, and triangles. Very simple when it comes to cutting hair. Okay, very straightforward. But like I said, I knew what they looked like on straight hair, but not quite how they translated to curly hair. Last week we did round. This week I want to work on a triangle layer. Okay, so let me just give you a little bit of a 360 here. Oh, actually, I figured out how to do it here like this. Okay. So my ideal cut right now would have been all one length, a one length bob. Okay. But just like real life, just like when the guests come to see me, they don't always come in with this perfect all one length hair. Sometimes it's going to be a little uneven. Sometimes that's going to be happening from damage, from color, from stress, medication, menopause. Let's not even get into that conversation yet. Okay, but that's kind of a real life scenario. I would have loved to demonstrate this look on all one length, but because there is slight layering going on already, just because how the mannequin came, I'm not going to be able to demonstrate that. But I do believe that we will be able to achieve a triangle shape. So I'm going to have to do more of what we call a graduation. And that's kind of where there'll be a slight buildup of weight, meaning that, you're going to get a bob, but it's going to start more at a 45-degree angle. Okay, so that's what I am going to work on today. I am going to cut the hair in its textured state. Okay, and then I'm going to come back tomorrow a little bit off the cuff and blow it out straight and flat iron it so we can have both to reference. And I usually share this in my stories. And if you want to see like the full length cut, you can always go to my YouTube channel. All right, so let's just get started. All right, so what I'm going to start doing now is sectioning the hair into 4 quadrants. Any questions so far? Are we rocking? We're good? Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Let me know that you're rocking with me. All right, so I'm going to go ahead. Oh, and today, if I need to use a comb, I am going to use a comb. Okay, because technically with the curly cuts, you don't use a comb. Okay, so I'm just trying to find my groove and my comfort level of how I can achieve this curly cut or textured cut, in my own way that I feel comfortable, that I feel confident, that's really kind of, more organic and authentic to the technique, but in a way that still feels good for me, Because, how do you think other people come up with techniques, right? You got the Rezo cut, you got the Diva cut, then I think now I see another cut, this cut, that cut. All these cuts come about because people take what they learn and then kind of translate it into their own technique that works for them, okay? Which is what I hope for initially. Okay. Oh, one last thing here. I forgot to bring my hydration closer by. All right, now I'm ready to go. Okay, so now I have parted out my 4 sections. Let me just make sure it's even. I am so excited about this, by the way. Like I said, I don't know. Sometimes I can be doing these lives and I have, everyday people, clients, guests. And sometimes I can be doing these lives and I have a lot of hairstylists and professionals. So it's not me trying to, necessarily connect with any one person out there. This is really a personal project for me as I'm just trying to navigate and figure things out. I think actually I'm going to make it more like 6 sections only because I want to go in and create a perimeter shape, like just an outline shape first, build up that graduation, and then see what hair we're dealing with after. Okay? So what I'm going to do here, even though the hair is already sectioned out, I'm going to separate it even more into more manageable pieces. Sometimes I wish I could just fast forward the hands of time to just get to where I want to get to. I'm so excited about, I've been wanting to cut this. I've had this mannequin for 4 years. I've been wanting to cut it so bad, but because I was using it to teach classes during the pandemic, I was just very limited of what I could do. Okay, so again, we're working with more of a triangular shape. So what I'm gonna do, the more that you can have control, especially when it comes to texture hair, you want to really make sure that you have control over your sections. So I've been using a lot of clips. Okay, so I'm going to start out here. I can do a straight line, but I'm going to slightly angle it. Okay, so I'm going to be parallel to the jawline. I'm wondering if I should teach this class. Is this a class or is this just an observation? Good question. I thought I had that part figured out because maybe you don't need to know all of the technical terms. All right, so I'm just gonna do a slight angle here. I don't want to block you. Can you guys see? All right, so for this first section, my elbow might be in the way, but what I'm gonna do, you'll probably have a better angle when I start cutting this side. All right, so let me just go right on ahead. I just bought a new pair of scissors today, guys. Woo! I was gonna come on live and ask you guys or make a post or what you think I should do because these scissors need to be sharpened. They haven't been sharpened in so long, but they're my only scissors. So I'm like, what am I gonna do? If I send them to California to be sharpened, then I'm gonna be left with nothing. So I got an affordable pair. I don't know, what do you guys like to cut hair with if you're on here and you cut hair? What's your favorite pair of scissors to cut with? Let me know in the chat. So I have just a slight bit of tension here. I'm just taking a little piece from that previous section and just giving myself a little angle. And can you see here? I'm just trying to cut this way so that, oops, this is not how I would normally cut. Okay, let's just check for balance. Okay. Okay. I'm just going to do one more panel on each side, and I'm going to, actually, you know what? I'm going to just go right into it now that I've established this, this guideline. Just going to go right into it. I'm making up stuff now. It's the Stacy cut. It's the Stacy cut. So just taking a panel right through the middle. And I'm going to hold it at a 45-degree angle. Get this out the way so you can see what's going on. What's going on? Okay. 45 degrees straight out from the head. And I'm going to cut. All right, I'm running out of hair. It's going a little bit too close past that second knuckle, so I'm going to connect. Okay. See that? Okay. So now I just want to start making, going on the head here. Holding that at a 45-degree angle. And that's the thing, you don't want to pull too tight. I've been waiting to do this for so long. Oh my gosh. What kind of tension? Oh my gosh, you literally read my mind. I didn't even see your comment, Laura. And I made a comment about tension, and you literally just asked a question about tension. I'm not, when I was doing that perimeter shape, I had a little bit of tension only because the mannequin was kind of springing up right here, and I knew I can clean that up after. But as I realize, as I'm starting to move up the head, I'm loosening that tension because I don't want the hair to start springing back up. I really love just how this silhouette is starting to turn out. I've been waiting to do this for so long. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm just going to continue to work up the head, but holding the hair at a 45-degree angle, okay? Still using my guide. This is honestly the first time I'm even cutting hair like this. So, but it looks good. It's coming together. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Yes, 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 yes. And what I'm going to do here is just kind of freehand this last section because I don't want to put any tension on it at all, because again, if you pull the hair out too much, it's going to spring back, and then you're going to start to lose that shape. And I only got one chance to do it because this mannequin's hair is not going to grow back. See? Looking good. I can't wait to connect the sides. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing on the right side. Going straight from the point of the middle of the head, right above the occipital. I'm just going to make a diagonal forward section. holding that hair at a 45-degree elevation, but my hands are kind of angled and parallel to the part. I want to make sure that I have my guide here. Sometimes you just need to make that section a little bit smaller if you can't see the guide. Usually I just have my comb out at this point. All right. Laura, if you are still watching, what type of scissors do you have? What's your favorite scissors to use? All right, now we're going to bring down the next section. And I'm going to do the same thing. I have an old school prism shears. They don't even make them anymore. I'm ready to upgrade though. Do you have any recommendations? I'm actually just trying to figure some things out. I've seen these are Hikari. These are Hikari shears. I've had these for so many years. At the time, it was about $700. I don't know how much it is now. It's not, for a good pair of Japanese metal can be expensive, but there's so many brands out there. There used to be like these go-to brands like his Hikari or NYX or Mizutani or, I don't know what's good anymore. That's why I'm like trying to eavesdrop on what you use. Invested almost 20 years ago straight out of school, and they've lasted forever. I can't find the shares that I bought straight out of school. I wish I did. Okay. Here's another thing, right? I'm looking for the shortest point here because I want to make the connection with this shortest piece of hair up here, and I want to be able to connect it with what's going on down here. Yes, too many to choose from. Yes. Hey, Jen, you made it. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is holding this at a 45. I don't want to pull that too much. Because I still want, this to be a nice, strong shape. Right? Okay. And not everything is going to reach. So if you're just tuning in, like my buddy Jen, last week we were working on round layers together, more of a round shape. This week is more of a triangular shape, but because the mannequin already had layers in it, not from the ones that we cut last week, but just by the way that it came, I'm going to just try to work with that and create a graduation, like still maintaining that triangular shape, but just, giving it slight elevation. Just making sure I can see my guide. I took away a little bit more here. Maybe I'm just going to. I'm over directing slightly, ever so slightly back. Just want to make sure. And again, there was already a lot of layering going on. So I want to make sure that I left that hair so that I can have the strongest shape possible. Not pulling it too much, because if you pull it too much, it springs back and starts to create a round shape. Okay. Okay, so now, isn't that beautiful? Ooh, I've been waiting to do this for so long. Okay, so I'm going to start connecting. Well, first I'm going to finish off the right side, give it some balance, and then I'm going to connect the sides. Okay. And wait till you see it look blown out and flat iron. I'm going to silk press. Cam is getting a silk press tomorrow. Okay. So I'm just going to kind of blend in the two sides. Every time I feel like I figured out this mannequin stand, it's another set of drama. I'm going to look up some pivot point mannequin stand videos. This is going to look outstanding. I can already tell. I can tell, yes. I've been waiting to do this. I was excited, Jen, about doing the round layers, but this is the one I've been waiting to do. But I've been afraid to cut this mannequin because these mannequins are also what I use to teach my classes. So I still have two more at home. I'm going to work with them as much as possible. I'm going to leave one that hasn't been cut yet. Okay. So I want to cut this in a way that you can still see what's going on. Just making sure that I can still see my guide at all times. I think that's what was tripping me up with the other one, was not being able to see the guide. But you can't, with straight hair, I don't always see the guide. I can feel it. So I just trust the technique. But here, if you really want that balance, you got to be able to see what you're doing. Then you get to the point where you can trust the technique. I'm not there yet. That's what I'm trying to get to, honestly, where I can just trust the technique. Okay. I'm just gonna freehand that. I can always come back and clean this up after. I'm gonna check for balance. Here's my shortest piece here. Not all of it is reaching, but the majority of it can reach. And sometimes that's what happens. I have guests that come in with damage, like heat damage, chemical damage, wearing their hair in ponytails, doing all kind of crazy stuff. And they just have these short pieces that just don't connect. I don't always have the quote unquote perfect canvas to work with, but you just have to create, find ways to just make it look as complementary, as strong as possible. And I think that that is one of my little superpowers. It's like taking what you already have, and maybe that's what we all do as artists, right? Just kind of taking what you already have and maximizing it. All right. So I'm gonna just go ahead and check for balance. Normally, I would have to cross check. If you cut vertical, you want to check horizontal. But I'm just like eyeballing it at this point, like you guys can see. It's kind of dark though. Let me see if I can get some more light on it. How does that look? We got some balance? You're gonna be my mirror because it looks a little dark to me. Do we have balance? Yes, yes, yes. All right, good. I got my pros on. I love when I have my pros joining my lives. You guys keep me going. You keep me you keep me accountable. I like when people who know what I'm doing, they're watching. They say, no, you didn't do it on the left side. All right, so let me know. I got a couple of pros on the line. Let me know if this is looking balanced, because then what I'll do is start working on connecting the sides. To me, in person, it looks balanced, but sometimes when I go back and watch these videos, I'm like, oh, miss a spot. All right, I'm gonna start connecting the sides. Jen says, looks great. Laura, get a little thumbs up. Great. All right, so I'm going to start working on connecting the sides. I don't know what is going on here with this, y'all. Kind of wobbly. I don't know what I did. All right, I'm not going to concentrate on that right now. So I'm going to just continue with diagonal forward sections. This is kind of bothering me, I'm not going to lie. Let me see if I can tighten it by, I found something new. I think I was loosening it up. So I got to tighten it back up. Boom, there we go. Nice and snug again. So I'm going to continue to connect the sides. And this is the part I'm excited about, because this is where I was struggling in the class, connecting the front and the back, or the back with the front. All right. So the key thing, that the big revelation that I had, was that you got to work with that existing guide. Don't miss it. Don't cut above it and don't cut under it. And you're going to have a seamless transition. Okay, so I'm going to continue here with a diagonal forward parting. All right, I'm going to work on the front now. Also, what I notice is that this mannequin has some serious sideburns, baby. Wow. Working with some, wow. We're going to work with it. Oh, I didn't get to tell you. So I shampoo, condition, detangle, and let it air dry. The front is still a little bit damp, but it's okay. So to do the curly cut, clean, detangle, naturally dry, no products. Okay. So what I'm gonna do here is continue with you can't see it, but I'm like in a warrior stance right now. I feel like I'm doing yoga. I'm like in a slight lunge. You can't see, but I really want to get in here right now. Okay. And I want to keep that triangle shape that's going on. There's literally no tension at all. Zero. So now that I've established that guide, all I'm gonna do is just bring everything toward it. But again, we have a lot of layering in the crown, so everything may not, mannequin hair always cracks me up. It does, but they don't talk back and they don't make me nervous. So when I can master it here, then I'm gonna move on to the real folks. Getting back into my warrior stance here. They should have a behind the scenes camera of what I'm doing here. I am getting into it. I'm just like, whoa, all right. I keep practicing my extensions and I can throw my girls down and they don't complain. You're right about that. I love that. I love that. And I am going to be looking into the link that you sent me because 2025, I want to do extensions and I want to take another curly cut course with a different different brand, you know, just to kind of see what else is out there. As I'm going up the head, less and less hairs, less and less hair to cut. So at this point, I'm just kind of freehanding it. Definitely nothing to cut in the front. Oh, yeah, that was the last section that had any hair to cut. This is all, this hair was too short to even make it down. Yep, never stop learning. Yes, protect that back. Yes. I'm a woman of a certain age, honey. It is all starting to, all the body parts are starting to talk to me now. Make noises, cricks and cracks and aches and pains. That That's another part of my discovery journey that I want to share with you guys. Going through this perimenopause phase, I want to be like a beacon of light for women that might be suffering like me, like how I was or am. Child, am. Uh, that short hair looks fantastic though. It adds a unique shape to it. Oh, yes, the little pieces. Yeah, so what I would do if my client or my guest had come in with these short pieces, I would work the heck out of them. I mean, I would really make it work because you don't necessarily want to just work out with this. I would find a way to kind of blend it in. But we're gonna start here, and then maybe next week I'll do the square layers maybe on this mannequin instead of bringing in the new one. Okay, so we're gonna do diagonal forward section here. Just establish that length that we're working with. Take a little piece from the back. These sideburns, get those under, get those at bay. It's pretty simple from here, you know? We're just keeping that true angle going. So it should automatically be balanced. All right. Get into my little warrior. My warrior pose. I was lunging to the left. Now I'm lunging to the... That scared the mess out of me. That is my floor vacuum. And when I just kicked it, my foot got close to it. It just scared the living daylights out of me. I need some water. Wow. Ciao. I was like, I know I'm here alone. I always worry about the length by the ears. Do you feel diagonal section helps to make sure there are no holes? What helps me to make sure there's no holes is really to freehand cut it, because a lot of the classes I took, especially with straight hair, you would take a section right in front of the ear and bring it behind the ear and cut it behind the ear so that when you comb it forward, it left room for that little space that the projection of the air may create. And then you get that hole when the air kind of springs it back up. So what I like to do, especially with textured hair, is just to freehand that section, whether it's wet or dry, and then when it's dry, I can come back and refine. I hope did I even answer your question? Do you feel the diagonal section helps to make sure there are no holds? No, it's the tension. It's the tension that I'm using and that angle. There will be, if the air was projecting here, I would just be so loose around it. Just checking here. Okay. So no tension at all. These sideburns, I'm gonna have to cut this sideburn off to balance it out. You see? Yeah, I'm gonna have to cut the sideburns off, guys. I'm gonna have to. You see? The only thing that's off is this little piece right here. And outside of that, we just have the balance. This little piece. And that's the sideburns. All right, so let me just handle that. That's the thing with these curly cuts. Every time you run your fingers through it, you're gonna create something new. I'm gonna just get rid of that little piece. Okay. I think that's looking good. Okay, now we have this more of a triangular shape on textured hair. See, it's like triangle, triangle. So what I'm gonna do, I think I'll clean up that face frame a little bit while I'm here. Or maybe I'll just do, I think that'll be cute. But now I'm just gonna clean it up a little tiny bit so that my wash and go looks good. That's another thing you can't do with real people. You're like, shake it a little bit for me so we can get some volume. And sometimes they're like, and you're like, you really want them to go like that. So with this mannequin, you. Okay, so I'm gonna wet them down. I'll be right back. Thumbs up. What's this? All right, I'm gonna wet them down. I'll be right back and we're gonna do the wash and go. For today's wash and go, I'm gonna be using the Orbe Curl Gelée for shine and definition. Last week I used the curl shaping mousse. It was really good. This week I'm gonna be using the Curl Gelée. Let me just wet them down real quick. I'll be right back. All right, it's all wet down. Okay. how I like to do my washing goes. I'm going to use a little leave-in conditioner, the priming lotion, leave-in conditioner and detangler, and my curl gelée. The dynamic duo, the priming lotion, leave-in detangling conditioner. It's your first step, your prep product. It's going to help to hydrate the hair, detangle the hair, UV protection, thermal protection. Not certified thermal up to 450, but you do get some level of heat protection here. And then the curl gelée for shine and definition. One of the newest additions, latest additions to the moisture and control family. I love it. It's more like a classic gel. I'm going to open it up so you can see it. Yeah, that part. Okay. More like a classic gel. When I'm doing a wash and go on highly textured hair, I prefer to use a nice firm hold gel that's really going to get the curls to start clumping together, or um, a, a, um, a foaming mousse, a curl foaming mousse. Okay, so I'm going to use a little bit of the priming lotion. I'm very familiar with Cameron's hair, so usually this is about enough. Some people don't like to use leave-in conditioner. I feel like it really helps to hydrate the curls. I'm just kind of working it into the hair. And then I am going to detangle it. I got a new little friend for detangling hair. I have a new little detangling friend. This other one. Ooh. Ooh. Talking about those aching joints. I had to, okay. So this is my current favorite, which is the Stacy Ciceron Flexible Detangle Brush. Is great for your guests that have sensitive scalps. It's also very gentle detangler. But lately, I've been experimenting and added this to my little regimen. I keep it at the shampoo bowl. It is the Unbrush. I know various brands are making them now. It's some kind of magical technology that helps to detangle the hair. So depending on how dense the hair is, I will still continue to use my flexible detangle brush, or, for lightweight, I guess, detangling, I'm going to go with the Unbrush. Okay, so. As you can see, the leave-in conditioner has already started to do its job, which is to detangle the hair. And usually with highly textured hair, this is a step that I definitely suggest to make sure that the hair is detangled. The only thing I would do differently with tightly coiled hair is put the hair in sections, okay? So I wouldn't just kind of freehand it and start detangling like this. I would literally put the hair in like 4, 6, or 8 sections, and then hold it nice and firm and start working my way from the ends and work my way up. But because the hair is just already so manageable, I feel comfortable just being able to kind of freehand detangle the hair. Another thing, when you're doing, okay, what's going on over here? You're giving me a little resistance in this area. Like I said, this cutting and styling is so intuitive. Like I can feel that it's not smooth over here. So I want to kind of see what's going on. Are there any snags? All right. Seems to have fixed itself. All right. Then I would put the hair in sections. This keeps it from drying out. This keeps it from shrinking back. This keeps it from getting tangled again. Okay, another thing you want to have close by when you're doing a wash and go and highly textured hair is your Stacy Ciceron Super Fine Mist water bottle. You can find that in the shop. Actually, until midnight, this is going to be 30% off, so you definitely want to grab you one. It's only $13, but I think by now most of us have these kind of aerosolized water bottles, but if you want one with my name on it, it's $13, but with 30% off. All right. I also used to have the detangle brush in my shop, and I stopped carrying it, but I might bring it back. I don't know. I really need to get an unbrush. Yeah, this was gifted to me, so I can't even tell you how much it costs, but I've been using it a lot more lately. Okay. For the sake of this video, I'm going to jump right in and start this wash and go in the front. And if you guys want, I'll keep the camera going while I do the rest, but I'll just let you see how the front looks, and then I'll decide whether I'm just going to go and do the rest off camera. All right. So, yeah, you want to make sure the hair is soaking wet, not damp, not moist, saturated, soaking wet. You may need towels on the floor. That's how much water should be in the hair. All right. Now I'm just getting some of my gel. And sometimes what I like to do is just start working from the root and work my way down. But sometimes if the ends are a little bit porous, I'll do the other way around. I will start from the ends and work my way up. So it just depends on what I'm seeing as I go along. But one thing you really don't see me doing with wash and goes on highly textured hair is going through with a comb or brush. I know that is a popular technique that I've been seeing on social media. Granted, if the section still feels like a little bit tangled, or it feels like the product needs to be worked through, then I would definitely go ahead and use a brush. But the idea here is really to just get these curls to clump together if you want to kind of have max definition, if that's your goal. Okay, so what I'll do is just start finger combing and just allowing those curls to start clumping together. I'm trying also not to elevate the section here, because on highly textured hair, you're already going to get tons of volume in the roots. When it dries, it's going to happen on its own. Okay. Drippy, drippy. Yes. So I'm just working that product through. Sometimes you can do a little palm to palm action if you find that maybe high porosity hair, the cuticles are a little bit frayed and rough. You can just use your palms, your fingertips, to start manipulating that cuticle to kind of push that moisture in, and manually almost like sealing that cuticle. Just kind of working it through, finger combing, making sure the product is from the root all the way to the ends. What's so crazy is as I'm going through with the products, I'm also looking at the haircut and just trying not to be judgy. You guys know what I'm talking about? Trying not to cut the hair on the spot. I'm going to leave that refining for once the hair is dry. But that's the thing, when you're just so used to cutting precision, any little hair that's out of place, you just want to cut it off. So this is pretty much the tool that I'm using for this whole wash and go is going to be my fingers. I call it set it and forget it. Okay. Because if you start manipulating the hair while it is still wet, you're going to start to get swelling and you're going to start to lose the definition if definition is your goal. And I keep saying if definition is your goal because I'm not assuming that everybody wants definition, and I'm not just trying to say that definition is the only thing that's beautiful on this hair type. Okay? I love the hair in all forms, in every form that it comes in. All right? So I'm going to work that bang area a little bit. And another thing is I set the hair. Me too. Yes, I love it, love it, love it, love it. I set the hair how I want it to fall. That's another thing when you're dealing with highly textured hair is that, again, less is best. So the less you can manipulate the hair, the more it's going to work for you. And also, the hair just sets in the way that it dries. So if you want a side part, a middle part, if you want a side part, if you want a middle part, or no part at all, it's important that you try to establish that while you're setting the hair. So I consider this setting the hair. Okay. So I usually like to dry wash and goes underneath a hooded dryer. That's my ideal number one choice for drying the hair. But if you are in a space that does not have that hooded dryer, then you can diffuse it. Okay, so for example, this section right here still looks, it's not smooth. So I'm going to go in with my brush to smooth it out. But let me show you what I do after that. All right. I go back in and start finger styling it again. All right. And I put the pieces where I want them to fall. So I'm just giving you tips on how to work with highly textured hair. All right. I know there's some looser curl types where you're able to do different things, but every hair type is different and the care is different. The tools are different. The product's going to be different. The technique is going to be different. So I'm just giving you a few hacks, if you will, that would really help you to kind of maximize your styling on this particular hair type. Okay. So what I'm going to do is just kind of work that leave-in conditioner, and notice I am combing it straight up, but this is not how I'm going to style it. I'm not styling it with any elevation at all. Okay, I'm sticking to that technique. Okay, probably split that. I like to be in front of the mirror so I can determine, like sometimes right at the apex, right at the highest point of the hair, everybody's apex is in a different, it's different. So do you want the hair in front of that height to go forward, or you want the hair in front of that height to go back? Because that's going to give you volume, and then and it's going to take away from the, you know, the strength of the front. So if you want the front to be a little bit lighter, you can split the hair in front of the apex or bring it back for more volume. So I just wanted to see, turn the head to the side to see exactly where I was at so that I can start to kind of figure out how I want to style it. Again, for me, it's so important to just establish how you're going to set the hair while it is wet. Okay? Saves you a lot of fixing at the end. And you don't want to jeopardize any, you know, all your hard work. Because as a naturalista myself, the biggest frustration is putting in a lot of effort and not getting any return at all. I spend years, and still to some degree, still spending years trying to, figure out what works best for my hair. Because again, I'm in a different season of my life. I like to call it season because I'm seasoned. I'm a seasoned woman. I'm a seasoned woman going through a season of my life. Okay. So my hair is different. My hair is different. So I have to discover now again what works. I'm starting to take different vitamins, looking for hair, skin, and nail vitamins, different type of hair care. Also, I can't, I have so much to talk about. I feel like so little time to talk about so much. So I'm a big advocate for um, sleeping with a silk or satin bonnet at night, or some type of head tie. Um, but hey, now that I'm going through my perimenopause, I don't want anything on my head. I don't want a scarf on my head. I don't want a bonnet. I don't care how loose it is. I don't want it on my head. So now I have to start trying to find satin pillowcases or silk pillowcases. And guess what I have to do? If I can't find it, I have to make it. Gotta make it, you know? So, yep. Mine is changing now too. Yep. But we just have to embrace it. And embrace it gracefully. It's a privilege. Many people don't even get to experience this. It's a privilege to get to this point, So we just have to do it with grace and with lots of mindfulness and awareness so that we can, gracefully get through it. That's why I want to put as much information as I can out there when I find it, even though we're all different. Okay, so now I am just about finishing up the technique here on the left side of the head. And I was thinking about going off camera to finish the rest. Let me know in the chat if you want me to do the rest of when I say the rest, the back half of the wash and go, this part. Do you want me to do that on camera? Give me a yes or a thumbs up in the chat. If not, I'm going to finish the rest off camera. Should I stay and do the whole thing on camera? I have to go myself, so I won't be watching styling if you do it. Okay. I love when you're here. Thank you. I get it. Anyone else in the chat, let me know if you want me to stay and do the rest of the styling on camera. I just need one yes. See you next time, Jen. One yes, and I keep going. Yes, I have to head out too, but this was a great live. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining, Laura. Thank you. I love having you guys here. It really means a lot. Community is so important. Okay. So this is my last little panel here in the front, and then I'll just start with that. I'm just looking to see, where do I want this piece to go? I think I like it the way I just did it. I just split it. Okay, so I'm going to start working on the back, but I wanted you to see what's going on so far. Okay? So while I work on the back, I'm not going to talk. I'm going to play some music. And so the rest of the video is going to be silent if you're hanging in there. Let me see what music I want to listen to for this. Music that's not going to get me kicked off of, music that won't get me kicked off of the internet. If you're hanging in there, see what music I want to listen. I'm getting scared too. All right, let me find a different music. This might be too popular. Maybe like an instrumental. Maybe an instrumental. All right, I'm gonna put some jazz on. Let's see. Maybe some jazz. All right, so the hair is very short down here, so I'm gonna just try to hold it up with my hands. All right, so the hair is very short down here, so I'm gonna just try to hold it up with my hands. All right, so the hair is very short down here, so I'm gonna just try to hold it up with my hands. What is that sound? What is that sound? Now it's long enough for me to clip it up. Okay, I'm going to, this video is already an hour and 27 minutes. So I'm going to, you know what? I'm already here. I'm just going to go ahead and finish it. Why not? Because what I would do is probably come back live and show you this part anyway. Should I do that? Or should I make this one long video? I think I'll just make it one long video. People don't mind watching long videos on YouTube, so go ahead and maybe that's a sign. It stopped. All right, I guess I'll end it here and come back live with the finish. Oh, before I end it, thank you everyone who watched it from beginning to end. If you're catching this on the replay, #replay. Love to know who rock with me, who's rocking with me live, and who's catching this on the replay. I am going to finish this up off camera, and when I say finish it up, I'm going to dry it, clean up my space, and then take some pictures. So I'm basically going to come back again tomorrow and just do a silk press on this same mannequin so we can compare the shapes of how it looks on curly hair versus how it looks on blown out hair. So thank you guys so much for watching. I would love to see you in the community. Click the links in my bio to join, whether you download the video, download the app, book an appointment. All of that gets you access to my community. And don't forget, Black Friday sale ends tonight. And the, actually, yeah, I think that's the only thing I have going on right now. Black Friday, once a year, only time I do sales, okay? Until midnight. Click the link in my bio to check that out. Black Friday 30 at checkout to get your 30% off. Hair services and products, all right? Talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching.